So I think we're all set. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to WMU Board of Trustees meeting to be held virtually today. I want to, first of all, thank you all for taking time out of your schedules to address this important matter. And I expect that this meeting will be relatively brief and everyone can get back to their work week. Dr. Schumann, do we have a quorum?
Chair Edgerton, we do have a quorum for the meeting.
Okay, perfect. And then technology check. Do we have everybody online, virtually engaged, live streams working?
We do, Chair Edgerton, we're ready to roll.
Okay, very good. All right, absolutely. At first, I'd like somebody from the board to make a motion to accept today's agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, second?
Support.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, that has passed. Let's move on. Well, first again, thanks again for convening virtually. It's just really a great opportunity for us to get together and do the important work of the university. We're here today to vote on the ratification agreement between Western Michigan University and AFSCME, which stands for the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. I like AFSCME better because I always miss somebody's letter in there. So I'm very appreciative when I can use the acronym. So, but before we hear the details of the proposed agreement from Vice President Vanderklay, I'd first of all just really like to acknowledge the collaborative efforts of the teams. Brian Sutton and his team, Jan and her team. I mean, you guys have done tremendous work. I mean, you know, we're fiduciary stewards of the university, and we're really glad to see all the communication, hard work, careful negotiating from both parties that's really resulted in this 2-year tentative agreement. So we appreciate all the hours and time put into it and, you know, being able to get it done sooner rather than later for all of us. So certainly appreciate, you know, the teamwork everybody put into this. So with that, I would just like, before we vote, I would certainly like to welcome President Cavaluna to his first virtual meeting and ask him to say a few words.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Thank you very much. Yes, this is both my first board meeting and virtual meeting as your colleague in this role, but I should say this is definitely not my first WMU board meeting. And I'm excited to be here with you all. It's a great way to start my tenure as your teammate on this board. So good afternoon, trustees. Good to see you all. Teammates from WMU, good to see you all. And President Sutton, thank you for joining us. I think the chair said it pretty well, that this is an exciting and good sign of the collaborative process that is not always collaborative. Taking place. We've got collective bargaining and administration working together on a timeline to come to an agreement that both of their constituencies have to review and approve. And this is the last and final and most important constituency that needs to approve this. And it's no surprise, trustees, that I will be recommending you vote in favor of this tentative agreement. I'm really excited that the membership of AFSCME did vote in favor of it. And I want to end my comments that I will keep brief by thanking two people who are probably deserving of the lion's share of credit for this. But I'll add one bit of context. A lot of times collective bargaining can be difficult. A lot of times collective bargaining can lead to hurt feelings and difficult discussions and frankly breakdowns. And this collective bargaining did none of those things. And it was as a result of two people working hard with teams that really wanted to show that we were working together for where we could find common ground and compromise. And now those are the hallmarks of successful collective bargaining. One of those people is Jan Vanderklay, who you all know and needs no introduction. Her teammate, Colleen, is also in line for some high credit. Leading the team from you all, the Board of Trustees, in proposing serious but respectful ways that the AFSCME employees could feel both honored and heard in their important jobs throughout the campus that frankly go unheralded many times, but are just so pivotal for the mission that we have to deliver. And the second person that deserves an entire truckload of credit is President Brian Sutton, an elected leader of a diverse and sometimes outspoken group of employees who have decades of experience and devotion to our teaching mission. And as I mentioned, often are not seen, but their work is seen and felt by students and staff. And frankly, I know that all the way back 25 years ago from being a student. So President Sutton negotiated in good faith, brought a team to the table that was large and diverse, and they worked on a timeline where the proof is in the pudding. His members voted in favor of this tentative agreement, board members, because they trusted President Sutton to deliver a fair and positive agreement, and that's what I would recommend you see this as. So I want to just again thank Vice President Vanderklay and President Sutton for their effort, and say to you all trustees, this is a really great sign. A contract delivered on time, with collaboration, and passed by the constituencies. Thank you, Madam Chair. That is all I have.
Get off of mute here. Thank you, President Cavaluna. So next we'll hear from Vice President Jan Vanderklay to walk us through the consideration for the recommendation for board action.
So thank you, and thank you for all the appreciation and sincere comments shared. I just want to say it goes to the individual team members who participated, both on AFSCME's side as well as Colleen and Kurt Graham on the administration side. Each person was willing to share their perspective, but and at points, sometimes there was not always accordance, but we were able to talk together and reach agreement. So it truly was the teams and the members of the team. So I just want to give credit where credit's due. So as indicated, it's a 2-year agreement. It goes from August 12, 2025 through August 12, 2027. It was ratified by AFSCME membership this past Monday. And as noted, quite a diverse group within AFSCME. You have custodial, dining, landscape, skilled trades, parking enforcement, and public safety locksmiths. So currently there's a little over 300 individuals in the union, and they make campus safe and beautiful for students, faculty, staff, and guests. And they do it every day, and usually with a smile. A little unique to this process, this go-around, both AFSCME engaged an outside expert on compensation, Gallagher, and Western Michigan University used Siegel, and each of us did a market study by position for the entire membership. Rather than trying to say one study was better than the other, both groups worked collaboratively together to look at the results and use the results obtained by each of us to formulate our recommendations for pay increases based on market. So for the 25-26 fiscal year, increases vary across the membership based upon the duties performed and the results of the market study. At no point, if a individual was at market or close to market, then a 2% was provided. So 2% was the floor, and then based upon market study, the increases could be greater than that. For 2026-27, a 2.5% increase for each member of the union. You have the wage charts provided as part of the contract. And the other point to notice too is that insurance premium rates were also negotiated and agreed upon. We looked at shift differentials as well as peak performance increases. And it was a good process. It was a collaborative process. So with that, I'm recommending to the Board of Trustees that we approve the 2-year contract with the AFSCME union based upon the attached wage rates. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for Jan? No? Okay, I will entertain a motion to adopt the recommendation.
A motion to adopt.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, Dr. Shipman, roll call?
All right, Chair Edgerton,
Yes.
Vice Chair Turfy,
Yes.
Trustee Burris,
Yes.
Trustee Hoadley,
Yes.
Trustee Williams,
Yes.
Trustee Wood,
Yes.
Chair Edgerton, motion passes.
All right, thank you all very much. Now I'd like to ask the president of ASME, Brian Sutton, to address the board.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for your time and for your action in approving this. I want to say that I appreciate all the accolades, but I am just fortunate enough to be the face of an incredible organization. And I could not do anything without the support of my members and our bargaining team. I also, I'm going to keep my comments short in respect of everybody's time, and I'll have more to say at the formal meeting next month. But what made this negotiations different than any that I've ever been a part of was a lot of work leading up to it. I appreciate the fact that Trustees Hoadley and Liggins took the time to meet with the leaders of organized groups on campus to hear about what was and wasn't working in the collective bargaining process. Through my opportunity to be on the search committee for our president, I was able to connect with members of the board and have conversations with them that I've never been able to have, or I've never had before. And all the assurances that going in, that things were going to be different this time, allowed our group to come in with a sense of positivity rather than dread that we have never had before. I would have never imagined that this was really how it could be. It's never fun, but I never woke up in the morning dreading having to go to a bargaining session. And then in closing, I guess what I will say is I hope that this experience continues into our daily communications with each other, and also shows other groups and constituents on campus that when we are talking with each other, as opposed to talking at each other, anything is possible. And so again, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you to everybody who worked hard to give us the reset. That's been the term that was needed, was a reset in labor relations and just how we work with and communicate with each other. And I think the proof is in the results that works. Thank you.
Thank you, President Sutton. Really great comments. Anyone have any questions for President Sutton?
I just want to thank Brian. You've been with the university, what, about 35 years now, or?
Yeah, I will officially hit my 35-year mark October 1st.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. God bless you. Thank you for everything that you do for all of our people. And I'm very proud of how this process has worked and how you've outlined it, and Jan, how you've outlined it, and John, my colleague on the board, and Higgins as well. So it looks like it was a collaborative team effort. And, you know, when we went out to recruit Russ, one of the things he said is trust and transparency with all our bargaining units. So a big thanks to our new president as well. Great job, everybody.
Good job. Great job. With that, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. Anybody want a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, second. Support. All those in favor say aye.
I have to go back to work.
All right. Thank you all very
Thank you,
much.
everybody.
Great job, everyone.
Have a great week,
Take care.
everybody. Thank you.
Go Broncos.